Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
It's 8:07. It's Thursday. It's O'Connor and Company. The government's still shut down, and we know who's to blame. But hopefully, we'll see a light at the end of the tunnel here. I really do feel that way. But there's going to be more pain, certainly for those of you who are traveling this weekend, as we've been discussing. We'll ask Congressman Brandon Gill in 30 minutes about that, and also about his impeachment charges that he's now filed against Judge Boasberg after the Arctic frost scandal was revealed. Or at least more of that scandal is revealed. I think there's more to be revealed. It's Larry O'Connor and the matriarch of the Mom Wars, Bethany Mandel. Good morning, Bethany.
Good morning.
We've got KT McFarland, too. She knows a thing or two about Mom Wars. I mean, not literally, but, well, maybe. KT, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
I want to start with New York City because what we expected to happen happened. Zohran Mamdani is now the mayor of that city. You're a New Yorker. You ran for Senate for the state of New York. You love that town. I love that town, and I am concerned. I guess the only thing that's standing in the way of complete and total destruction is the fact that the New York City mayor can't really do all the things that he says he's going to do. What do you think?
Oh, it's going to be a lousy couple of years for New York City, but I think it's a repeat and a replay of 1974 or 5. So at the time, Mayor Dinkins, mayor of New York, borrowed way too much money, couldn't function, trash wasn't being picked up. There were petty crime ran rampant in the streets, graffiti everywhere, cops were overtaxed. It was just a mess. New York was a mess, and the money was leaving because it was moving to Florida. So what happens? New York City goes bankrupt and can't borrow any more money, and so goes to the federal government, President Jerry Ford, and asks for a handout. And President Ford famously said in the headline of the New York Post, Ford to New York, drop dead. And so no money from the feds for New York City. So then New York City comes under the auspices and bankruptcy of the state of New York. This is a New York law. So the city of New York then is administered by the state in Albany. The problem, and that's what happened in 1975, and then it took a while. It took several years. New York restructured all of its debt. I won't go through all the weedy details, but New York went on to really thrive, and then later Giuliani was elected, and it was a golden era for New York.
Yeah. So
I think what happens is a repeat of this. It'll happen faster. I think that within 6 months, New York will be a mess. Mamdani's promised free health care, free food, free transportation, free groceries, free childcare, free everything, and it won't work. And so New York will be broke and dysfunctional certainly within a year, but probably within 6 months. And then the feds will say, Trump will say, drop dead New York, and then it'll go under the receivership of the state of New York, which also has no money this time around. So what happens? The silver lining in all this misery is that 1 year from now, Elise Stefanik, Republican, MAGA Republican, protege of Donald Trump's, she will be elected governor of New York, and then New York rebuilds. So and if you have a Republican governor in New York State, it changes the national conversation overnight. So I think that there is a silver lining here, although it's going to be a horrible year for New York, and everybody I know is moving out.
Yeah, me too. So do you think that the silver lining might be Governor? Oh my God, I'm totally blanking on her
Stefanik.
Elise Stefanik. Yeah, Bethany, I do. It'll be Governor Elise Stefanik.
Yeah.
Because it'll be so bad so fast. And the state of New York is also in trouble. There's a very weak governor now, Kathy Hochul, who is only governor because Andrew Cuomo was forced to resign. Governor Hochul will probably, as a result of the election results on Tuesday, she will probably get a primary from the left of the Democrat Party, a far left-winger who could well win that primary. So then you would have a really strong MAGA Republican, Elise Stefanik, who's brilliant and fierce and young and an amazing debater against either an incompetent current governor or a crazy left-wing nut. So I think there is a silver lining here, but it's going to be hard.
What about the international impact? Because New York City, though it's not our capital city, it certainly has a vital international footing, and it's also the home of the United Nations. Mamdani famously said that he would have Benjamin Netanyahu arrested for war crimes when he comes to address the UN, which is, by the way, noteworthy that he didn't say he would make an arrest of the Ayatollah from Iran for the same reason. Will there be an international impact here?
I think the international impact will be on it'll be financial impact. New York is the capitalist city of the world, and so that'll have an impact of our foreign companies going to invest as much in New York, or are people going to flee the city? But I bet there will also be an intelligence failure. If you're a foreign intelligence service, do you really want to cooperate with the NYPD on terrorism issues, on financial reporting? Probably not. Can you trust them? And so I do think it'll have that kind of an impact. But the biggest impact will be on New York and New Yorkers.
And let me just follow up there on the foreign intelligence issues. The reason that that's a big deal is because New York has consistently been the target of radical jihadist terrorists. Obviously, 9/11, the 93 World Trade Center bombing. Let's not forget the foiled Times Square bombing. It happens a lot. The New York Police Department has over $1 billion budget, and much of that is supported by the Department of Homeland Security because we consider New York City to be a prime target for terrorism, and that means it's a national issue. Depending on how he manages the police, there might be a conflict with the federal government with regard to Homeland Security as well. That makes New York more vulnerable, does it not?
Of course it does. And I think you'll see it. I mean, the head of the New York Fire Department resigned yesterday. Yeah. And so I think you'll see, and Governor DeSantis of Florida announced a $5,000 signing bonus for any NYPD officer who wants to move to Florida. So, yeah, there'll be disruptions. It'll be, again, it's going to be a hard year for New York. Yeah. Real estate values are going to plummet. The stock exchange has already opened a second office in Dallas. Maybe the Dallas Stock Exchange will be the primary place that people want to do business instead of the New York Stock Exchange. But again, I think we'll get over this. We got over it in the 1970s, and then it led to a golden age after that.
I just would like to object to the fact that you saw my next question coming about the Dallas Stock Exchange and then preempted my question about the Dallas Stock Exchange. I'm pretty frustrated. I thought it was going to be a good question, and then you just killed it.
Great question.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Always happens.
So for the people who are moving away, do you think that they're going to come back if there is a golden age, or are we just going to see sort of a total gutting of what New York is? Because that's a frustration that I have about the Mamdani campaign, is that people who are actually not born and bred New Yorkers are the ones who elected him, and I think we're going to lose a lot more of those. What do you think?
The question will be: do you just lose old folks? As happened during COVID, where people have sort of already had one foot in Florida or Texas or Tennessee or South Carolina because of the taxes, inheritance taxes, lifestyle. And so if in their 50s they were thinking, well, in my 70s I'm going to retire to Florida, and so all of a sudden in their 50s they just retired. So they're kind of half in, half out, and so they just got half out faster. But the question will be, what happens to the 30-year-olds, the 40-year-olds? Are they going to stay in New York City? Or are they going to say, Texas doesn't look so bad, or Florida doesn't look so bad? And that's what we saw at with COVID, that there were young people moving out, not just old folks who retired to Florida. And that will be the big question. Are you going to start seeing 30 and 40-year-olds saying, look, New York City, unlivable. Can't put my kids in a good school. Tuitions for private schools are through the roof. It's not safe. So will you see that kind of migration either to the suburbs of New York or surrounding metropolitan area suburbs, or we see people just, I've had it, I'm out of here, I'm moving to Tennessee?
Our favorite New Yorker, KT McFarland. Thank you for that on-the-ground insight, and you're all in our prayers. We'll see what happens, but also part of us are sort of watching and saying, yeah, you know what, things get bad, and that's when people start to come to their senses and vote properly. So maybe, hopefully you were right about how things shook down last time, and how we'll cyclically come back to normal. Thanks, KT.
Thank you.
Hey, don't forget to check out KT's book. It's a great one on the first Trump administration called Revolution. Great insights into what's going on these days in the headlines as well. It's 8:15.